Hi everyone, thanks for joining. My name is Nick Smith. I'm the APAC sales leader for IBM Watson Media. Essentially, Watson Media is the portion of IBM that looks after our video solutions. So anything to do with streaming content or video analytics. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we've been running an extended trial around our enterprise streaming option. And this is one of those fantastic markets that IBM started to play in over the last 4 to 5 years. So what we actually do is we try and solve a video delivery problem for enterprises around corporate communications, so communication within the enterprise, and external outreach. So say running large events like IBM Think or Salesforce, Dreamforce on a video platform so people can reach that content in a very accessible way that's familiar from their consumer lives. So it feels to your viewers just like they're watching Netflix or going to YouTube, etc. So how do we do that? Well, what we do very, very well is delivering high quality at scale. So being able to take a single or multiple video feeds, package it up and deliver it out to thousands, millions we can do of viewers. But that could be 385,000 employees within the IBM enterprise, or 1 million people watching a Sony PlayStation launch. We can do that across those different use cases. We're a highly security-rich product. We're focused on encryption in transit, encryption at rest. The security of your content and your data is paramount to us. We use AI in our platform to drive insights, so to unlock unlock content. So, say for example, within corporate communication, if you have a way of managing knowledge, so every piece of content that mentions a certain word can be packaged up and built into a playlist for employees to be able to find out about that. Much like you or I now, if we're looking to do some home improvements, we might go to YouTube to learn how to fix some plumbing in the bathroom. You can do that within the enterprise as well with relevant material with AI-driven insights. And one of the key things that we talk about normally with customers is around impact of video on corporate networks. So we know that videos can be a big nasty for corporate networks, especially firewalls and internet capacity. We have solutions that actually drive that traffic through, that minimize the impact of that traffic on corporate networks. So what is our solution? So this is an end-to-end cloud-based enterprise video solution. So we do everything from the point of ingest, so when you either start a live stream or upload video content, all the way through to the player architecture. So we provide everything in that bundle, including for enterprises an internal viewing portal. So much like having your own internal version of YouTube where your employees can go with SSO integration, sign in, using user groups from your identity manager, you can control access to content. We do what's called adaptive bitrate transcoding for any content you send us. That essentially means that we generate those variants, those derivatives that you might see on Netflix on your TV or on YouTube, where you have different versions of content. And we have an engine that actually switches between those based on the most appropriate video version for your device and your internet connection at any point in time. That is one of the key parts of our platform. That's one of the things that we do very well. It's built us the reputation over the last kind of 15 years of being a first-class video platform. So what's our enterprise offering? So we have a couple of variants of the video platform. Our video streaming platform is for external communications. So this is what IBM used to broadcast Think, if you watch that. Salesforce used to broadcast Dreamforce. If you've ever watched one of Elon Musk's Tesla launches, that's broadcast on our platform as well. And then we've got the enterprise video streaming platform that's designed for internal communications. So this is a little bit different. It's designed for people to authenticate through using an SSO style solution to come into an internal environment. So like our portal or an integrated third-party solution, and to watch content in a secure way where every view they have is tracked, every interaction with the platform is provided back as part of the analytics. And then on top of that, we also have our Enterprise Content Delivery Network solution, or ECDN. And that's essentially small, lightweight Ubuntu virtual machines that are designed to do the caching and distribution of video around the enterprise network. So who uses this? You can see some pretty famous names here. What's a kind of consistent theme in our customers is the people who've jumped on and are using it with us are disruptors in their space. You can see Lyft there. We also have Uber as a customer as well. Salesforce, Airbnb, Slack, Intuit disrupting the financial space, Pinterest. All of these different types of customers are using us across a broad scope of use cases. So maybe it's marketing, maybe it's events, maybe it's corporate communications, or maybe it's all of those combined. And we have ways of allowing people with a single platform to deliver multiple use cases in a very, very easy way. So with those use cases, the key ones, internal, so that's around CEO town halls. So obviously, our CEO likes to speak to people. Our previous CEO, Ginny, loved to talk to IBMers. She would do small kind of piece to camera bits as she came out of shareholders meetings, as an example, just using a mobile phone, iOS or Android app. She could broadcast out to 385,000 IBMers around the world and make that video available for on demand for people in different time zones. And that could be done instantaneously. Training. We know that one of the biggest issues within organizations is how you actually can record knowledge from one person to another. Having people write complicated descriptions, takes a lot of time, takes a lot of resources. Making simple to the point short videos is something that we can do through our user-generated workflow functions. So allowing people to generate small amounts of content in kind of bite-sized instructional videos. Again, similar to a consumer experience, the way that we go to YouTube to actually find information that we need nowadays. Communications, how, especially in a situation like we're in right now, where we have dispersed workforces working from home around the world, how do you keep everybody informed about what's going on? How do you keep people on track? So how do you deliver to people on any device, anywhere, with limited internet connections, the best kind of experience where they know what their leaders are saying, where the organization is going? Enablement, I mean, we use this internally for all our sales enablement. So the IBM video platform is integrated into all of our training solutions. So every time we do training around, say, the Red Hat acquisition as an example, all of that training video content is integrated into the video platform. It's integrated into the SSO backend. So all of the data around compliance for training, say, I have to watch this particular video, is fed back into a user's profile. For external use cases, I mentioned Think and the Dreamforce conference for Salesforce, a couple of examples. We're having a lot more trade shows start to go digital now as a component up until recently, and now as a full experience. So now that people can't congregate together, how do you tell people about the latest trends in an industry? How do you broadcast from a booth? How do you do that remotely? Product launches, as I mentioned, we do all the Tesla launches. We've done stuff for Sony, Mazda, just to name a couple of brands. But how do you create a curated experience rather than going to a social platform that's distracting, where you can control the capture of data, the analytics of data, and the customer experience? And marketing outreach, how are you embedding that content on your website? What's the experience with it? How do you run your own set of ads rather than the third parties? Can you do live content? Because we know live is more engaging. So just a few quick case studies. So obviously I mentioned that Salesforce uses for their Dreamforce conference. We also drive their internal communications. So that's 50,000 employees around the world. So we're actually running their entire back-end video platform that they use for internal communications. AT&T. Similar example. So again, one of the key things about us is because we can do a whole bunch of different use cases, we often come in and replace multiple solutions. Another example of that might be with VMware. I think we replaced 8 video solutions within VMware globally to come to a single cloud-hosted platform. So with AT&T, we've gone in here, we've replaced 2 solutions. We're now actually running to all of their global corporate communications across the audience, across their global audience, across all the different lines of business. US Customs and Border Protection, we do have a lot of government customers. For obvious reasons, we don't get to name most of them, but these guys are happy for us. This is 65,000 DHS employees that we reach out to around training content, so both live and on-demand training content. And so somebody told me the expression, eat our own lunch. So this is it. So with IBM, if we're doing any internal communications pieces, it runs out on our IBM Enterprise Video Streaming Platform. That's 350,000 employees that can reach this. And obviously, as I mentioned, that's through our analytics engine. We're able to see who watched what, how, and where. A couple of marketing pieces, the Tesla product launches, that was over a million people with 350,000 people concurrently on a single stream. And that's obviously not the largest stream we've ever done. We've gone way beyond that, but it's a huge amount of viewers. And you think while these pieces are going on, 350,000 IBMers, a million people for Tesla, we as a video platform are able to manage that across the globe with audiences connecting from all different kinds of geographies and all different kinds of devices. So what is the product? Well, from an enterprise point of view, it can be our portal. You can see here the AT&T experience for a user. Again, it does seem very familiar from a consumer experience, but this is a turnkey customizable experience. So you can brand it for your requirements. We have a full set of APIs and SDKs to integrate it into any third-party solutions if you wish. But for most of our customers, they can get set up and running very, very quickly. So within a couple of hours, they can have their SSO credentials in. They can have a branded enterprise portal ready to go. They can have a whole bunch of channels created with their own individual little bits of branding and content uploaded into our platform. It is that simple. As I mentioned, we are a highly secure platform. We can integrate with virtually any identity management solution as we support SAML 2.0. So that allows you to secure that content down to an organization, an individual SSO group, or different groups per channel of content. A channel is just a delineation we use to say, this is a group of on-demand content or a live channel. So we can secure that down, or we can even secure video down by individual viewers. So you can say, here's a list of people from our SSO that can only access this one piece of content, and we can do that. As I mentioned, we have an encryption at rest and in transit. We're an ISO 27001 certified platform, and we now have options for private instance of this solution hosted on IBM Cloud. We have a full set of analytics, and again, this can be reached via our APIs. So we can literally tell you, well, on this town hall, your viewership peaked at this point. And when they get the CFO to speak, the viewership tends to drop off a little bit. Tends to be a trend that we see, but we can actually validate who's been watching what content, etc. So if there's a compliance piece for training, we can always tell that. And we can also provide quality metrics around any broadcast or any video on the platform at any time. To engage the audience as a one-to-many solution, we've got a whole bunch of features that we bring to the market. So we have a moderated chat and Q&A, kind of similar to what you're seeing in WebEx. Again, tracked through SSO, so the SSO usernames come through into the chat and Q&A. We've got live audience polling. We have a call to action feature that's highly configurable that allows you to drive your audience to do something, maybe subscribe, watch another piece of content, take a quiz, whatever it may be. Very, very easy to configure via our web portal. A lot of people using that for very different use cases. We also have an integration with slide presentations. So that allows people to choose the way they want to watch a slide presentation on a video stream. So if somebody's talking about something detailed, do you want to have a large view of the slide presentation, a small view of the presenter, or just see the slide presentation, just see the presenter, etc. All of those options are available via our platform. We're a very flexible platform. We don't require a software download. We're an HTML5 based platform in the sense of our player architecture. That player is designed to fit the highest level of accessibility standards. So we support multi-level audio, we support multi-language audio, we support multi-language captioning, and we have all of the features around accessibility for anyone with disabilities to access the platform in a simple way. This is something that you can literally pick up a web-based player and it will run on any device anywhere. That allows viewers a very easy experience without having to download software, without complicated pieces that they, again, used to from their consumer lives. With our intelligent quality of service, we actually have multiple CDNs under the platform, content delivery networks. So we have the 8 largest providers in CDN in the world. So we basically switch between that based on player analytics at any point in time. So we're always looking for a better signal to seamlessly provide the best quality of service possible to those viewers. So for the current situation, we've got some extended free trial offers. We're offering trials for 90 days, no commitment, completely free trials for both the enterprise video streaming platform and the standard video streaming platform, that's the external piece. They're pretty big bundles. So for the enterprise offering, we're offering 20,000 authenticated viewers a month. So you can easily integrate with your SSO. We provide support, remote support to assist you with any setup that you want for that, to run that through with people. And you can run some large scale events. You can be out there communicating to your staff who are working from home very, very easily with us. We're also offering a trial of the IBM video streaming platform. So if there are large scale events you want to do, maybe marketing outreach, maybe there is an event that you had planned that you can no longer do as an in-person event and you'd like to move it online. We've got an offer for the platform to use that, again, for 90 days. That's 20,000 viewer hours a month. So a viewer hour is, Richard and I each watch 30 minutes of content. That's 1 viewer hour. So we've got both those versions available. There's a link that'll ask the guys to share. Essentially, you just go to the link and you just fill in this very, very basic form over on the right-hand side. And from there, we come back to you, provision the account out for you and provide support for you to actually deploy that, either for your enterprise or for your outreach platform. That's me.